Hey, this is Stu, and I am really excited today. Luke and I are about to go on a hike of the newest park in Mobile County, Escatawpa Hollow. It's got a campground. It's even got a beach on the Escatawpa River. So I got my hiking sandals on. Luke's got his leash. We're going to go take a look at this new campground. Today on Delta Safari, Luke and I have another out-of-Delta experience as we visit Mobile County's newest park, Escatawpa Hollow. Today, Luke and I hit the road for a little road trip. And when I say little, I mean like 10 minutes. We are checking out the newest addition to the Mobile County Park system, which just so happens to be about 15 minutes from where we live. It's going to include a new stretch of highway that just opened up, so it's cutting through virgin forests. That's a little sad, but at the same time, it's a much needed artery to relieve pressure on Highway 98 here, you see, which goes over Big Creek Lake, which is the water source for the city and county of Mobile. Our destination today is the Alabama-Mississippi state line, which is made up of the Escatawpa River. The name Escatawpa comes from the Choctaw language. The Choctaw were one of the peaceful tribes that lived here along the Gulf Coast of Mississippi and Alabama. And it's two different words, Uski, which means cane, and Tapa, which means cut. And what Escatawpa means is the place where we cut cane from the banks of the river. The Escatawpa is a way different type of river than what we're used to in the Mobile-Tensaw Delta, or what we looked at with the Slava Creek flowing into Dog River and then into Mobile Bay. This is a very shallow river, and in fact, the park that we're visiting today, it's really more of a creek. And it's got a sandy bottom that makes it perfect for wading. So I brought along some fishing gear. In fact, a new combo that I've been wanting to try out. Luke and I are going to do a little hiking first. Then we're going to wade the river and see if we can't land something. In addition to a fairly impressive RV park that we'll take a glimpse at later, there are other amenities here at the park, including one of the coolest public restrooms I've ever seen. The Escatawpa River is a 129-mile long tributary of the Pascagoula River, merging near Moss Point, Mississippi. It is estimated to be roughly 11,650 years old. It meanders through two Mississippi counties, George and Jackson, and two Alabama counties, Washington and Mobile. The Escatawpa is classified as a blackwater stream, which means the water color resembles a glass of sweet tea. This is caused by tannin content picked up as the river slowly moves through vegetative areas. In 1984, the National Park Service recommended Mississippi and Alabama should designate 74 miles of the Escatawpa as an official wild and scenic river. The recommendation came after an extensive study was performed by the NPS, which determined the water quality in the river as very good and noted its scenic and recreational potential. This designation protects sections of rivers and tributaries by preserving their free-flowing condition by not allowing damming or otherwise impeding the flow. Bankers, politicians, and the timber industry pushed back, and eventually the National Park Service backed off. "16 years later, a new study revealed catches of largemouth bass and catfish contained unacceptable readings for mercury, which prompted, of course, the agency to issue a fish consumption warning for some segments of the Escatawpa River. As of August 2023, you can now camp at Escatawpa Hollow. The campground is open for limited day use, 8 a.m. to dusk daily, but you can make reservations for the RV park. Now, visitors have day use access to the river and beach, restrooms and parking, pavilions with picnic tables and grills, as well as some walking trails. Park signage guides visitors to the open areas of the park. The park encompasses a diverse ecosystem of native plant and animal life for the enjoyment of all guests. The 32-pad RV campground also includes a restroom, shower, and laundry facility. The beach access area, accessible only via a walking trail, includes a small launch, and visitors are welcome to bring their own kayaks, canoes, or similar to the park. Rentals are in future plans but are not available at present. Escatawpa Hollow is still under construction and many exciting additions are underway. Phase 1B construction should begin in spring of 2024 and includes a cafe, general store, Blackwater River System Interpretive Center, and a playground. One of the things that I'm hoping they do here at Escatawpa Hollow is allow some primitive camping. As you can see, there are already some natural campsites that would be perfect to throw up a little tent and imagine waking up to this beautiful river in the morning. Future amenities that are still in the planning stages include rentable cabins and even a few novelty tree houses, a small conference center, a disc golf course, more river beach access areas, rentals for tubing and paddling, as well as more walking and even biking trails. I think it's high time that Luke and I showed you this killer little beach. Much like the sugar white sands found in Gulf shores that Alabama is famous for, the beach along the Escatawpa, or beaches, as there are several as you meander down the 100 miles or so, are made up of really white sand, and that is because of a high quartz content. This sand can be blindingly white. I can remember as a young boy, my grandfather picked me up one day, and we headed west out of Sims and ended up stopping at the Escatawpa with a couple of 5-gallon buckets and some shovels. I forget what it was my grandfather was building, but he wanted it to have a sand floor, and so we came down here to the river and dug sand to put on the floor of whatever it was he was building. Pop was a really cool dude, and I think he would have loved exploring this park. Well, all this hiking and yakking is fun, but I got a new fishing combo I want to try out, so let's do a little fishing. I've been hearing a lot about the tackle from 13 Fishing. And even though it's a company that's only been around 13 years, I think it started in 2010, it is a subsidiary of Rapala, which is one of the oldest and most respected companies in the game. So after hearing so much about this brand, I happened to find one combo sitting in this little discount salvage store in my hometown. And it's one of those places that buys stock from other places that are going out of business. So I took a look at the price, then I pulled it up on Amazon and found out that the price I was getting at the salvage center was, I don't know, $15, $20 cheaper than even Amazon had it. So I threw it in the buggy, and here I am giving it a test drive. The Code Silver spinning combo was built with one idea in mind, and that's to be the best combo in fishing. Now, I really enjoyed this reel today. The whole combo was just fantastic, and I think I got a real bargain on it for, I think, 35 bucks. So there has been a recreational spot right here on the Escatawpa at the Alabama-Mississippi state line as long as I can remember. When I was in high school, we used to come up and park alongside Moffett Road. We'd follow a trail down to the river here, and there was another little beach. That one is on the other side of the road that we turned in on. And it was just a nice little place to go, just lay out, have a few cool drinks, maybe cook some hot dogs over a fire. But what Mobile County has done with this spot now is just incredible. It is absolutely stunning out here. And to think this is, 15 minutes from my house, just amazing. Luke sure is enjoying it too.
Having grown up in this part of Mobile County and spent a major portion of my life here, I am just over the moon with how the county has developed this area. It's always had amazing potential. The Escatawpa is a beautiful river. Some might call it a creek, but if you get down a little further south around the Pascagoula area, it's a sure enough river down there. This one has always been very popular for floating on inner tubes, kayaks, and canoes. It's not very deep, especially this time of year. During the spring though, when we get the rains or if we've had a hurricane or tropical storm roll through, it can be a pretty intimidating river. But it is just absolutely incredible, this new park, and I am going to use it a lot. Right, Luke?
Although the official street address says Wilmer, Alabama, Al's is actually located in an unincorporated community called Fairview. Wilmer is just the closest post office, and they handle the mail for the community of Fairview. Fairview sits on Highway 98 between the communities of Sims, where I live, and Wilmer, where Escatawpa Hollow is. The name comes from the earliest settlers in the area who were bragging that they got a wonderful piece of land just west of Sims, and they said, "Is it beautiful land? How's the view?" And they said, it's fair.
I think I have established a pattern at this point. I love gas station food when it's good, and Al's Kitchen is one of my favorites here in the area, so I didn't hesitate to stop on the way back from Escatawpa Hollow. I couldn't decide between the catfish or the chicken, so I got both. Got some collard greens and a nice buttery biscuit, and I'm fixing to get to town. All right, let's try a little piece of the catfish first, shall we? Nice, good crispy, not overcooked, still some moisture in it. I'm a happy dude. Now let's go for that chicken thigh. Listen up now. Outstanding. A little collard green. The thing about Al's is it's not a chef-driven menu. There's no fusion cuisine going on, no rich French culinary traditions. It's just good old wholesome Southern food. Mostly in the deep fryer, and what isn't deep fried has pork in it somewhere, whether it's greens or beans, giving it the flavor. It's nothing special. It's awfully good.
There was this here talking dog, like that happens. And he was asking you to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Like everybody don't know to do that already.